Hi, Alana. How is everything going? And kind of two questions, but the first being, how are you feeling physically? I know you didn't get to play in Australia this past, I guess, summer down there because of the ankle. How are you feeling at this point?
Yeah, everything's going really well. It's really nice to be back into training camp and training with the team again. And honestly, I think that break that I had was kind of a blessing in disguise. I was forced to sit out. I had ankle surgery last year, um, but it was really nice. I kind of just lifted weights for a few months straight and got really strong, and then just worked on skills pretty much for the rest of the time. And so I feel really, really good, really prepared. And I feel like I've improved on my game a lot. So I'm super excited to get the ball rolling a little.
And then since the last time we talked, your alma mater has had a pretty crazy basketball season to end with the title. I was wondering, just, I'm sure you were following them the whole time, to kind of see everything that they went through, traversing the West Coast and living in Santa Cruz or wherever, and to end it with the title. I just wondered what you thought of their season and how you thought of the program this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely a battle that they fought the entire time. Nothing came easy to them. And to see them get through and push over the line for a natty was just, it was amazing, and they deserved it. They put all that hard work and effort into it, just fought that uphill battle the entire way. And you could see it even on their faces as they won. It was just something that they'd worked super, super hard for. And it was felt all across the Stanford community as well. So it was really, really cool and special to watch and also be a part of too.
Next up, we have Paul Richardson, followed by Jeff Metcalf.
Alana, your team just keeps adding talent and more talent. Just kind of talk about the expectations of the team this year, because obviously you add more talent, the expectation level goes up even higher. If you could just talk about that for this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the expectations are the same every year for us anyway. It's to win a championship, go all the way. So it's really cool. We've added new pieces to the puzzle this year. We've got Kia in, which is awesome. We're excited for Bria to come back later this season as well. So it's going to be really, really cool, I think, just to, work towards that end goal, which is a championship, So we're excited. I think we're ready, and we're looking really, really good. And it's just the beginning. So yeah, I think, like I said, that championship is always the goal.
Next up, we have Jeff Metcalf.
You know what? I bet you're going to be so happy when nobody has to ask you about an injury again. It seems like we've been doing that at one way or another ever since you got here. I mean, are you ready to put all that behind you? And do you think that's possible now?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've had my couple years stretch of problems, and I think I deserve, a few years of peace. But yeah, for me right now, it's honestly just management, managing my body and listening to it and making sure I work on recovery and everything like that. And we've got some great staff with us. I've got really good people supporting me with Derek and Hannah. So, it's looking like I'm going to be injury free. Fingers crossed, I mean, there's always going to be accidents that might happen, but for the most part, I'm feeling really, really good. And yeah, hoping that no issues come across in the future.
I wanted to ask you too about Sarah being here and Tiana. You've had some relationships with both of them over your basketball career. What's it like having both of them in camp?
Yeah, it's always nice to have another Aussie around. It was just me and Sandy for a little bit, so we're a little bit lonely, but we've got the crew going, the Aussie crew growing, and it's awesome. I know Sarah really well through the Opals stuff. We just were at Opals camp a few weeks ago now, so it's really nice to have her here. Someone that I've played with a lot, and Tiana, I haven't played with her in a few years, but I have, and I've watched her. She's super exciting to watch and even more exciting to play with. And it's just, nice to hear that accent around as well. I'm not the only one who's getting people asking me like, what was that? There's a couple more others too. So it's good to have that Aussie family here.
All right, our two final questions will come from Michelle Vogel, followed by Alex Simon.
Yeah, Alanna, if I could ask you to cover some ground. I know you've talked about this before, but Do you remember at what age you fully realized what sort of legacy the Australians had in the WNBA? Because of any other nation besides the US, the Australians have had the most impact on this league. Do you remember how old you were when you sort of realized that and thought about becoming a part of it?
Yeah, I think I kind of realized it when I was watching Lauren play. She was one of my idols as a kid, so I watched her a lot. And my dad and uncle were involved in basketball a lot, so I was around kind of that circle of players a little bit as a young kid. And, you know, I wanted to be them. I wanted to get to that point that they were at. And so I think Lauren was the first player where I was like, whoa, like that would be really, really cool. And then you see other players go through, you know, Timsy came through, and then we had Penny and Leilani and Steph Talbot, Kayla George, you know, I could name a few. Beck Allen's been in the league for ages. So, you know, we've got a really good presence here. And I think it just is a testimony to the talent that we've got coming from Australia. And you see more and more each year coming through with Ezzy as a young kid coming through, and just Shyla Hill now going to Chicago. And yeah, I just think it shows that, you know, the US has a little bit of competition. We've got some great players down in Australia. And it's really cool to kind of see that legacy continued as these younger players are coming through, because, you know, those older players that I just mentioned before, they kind of set the tone for us to follow.
And, you know, Jeff asked in terms of the injuries, but injuries aside, how do you feel like you are as a player now, in your going into your third year? What ways have you grown as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming into the league, I know a lot of players experience this. Your confidence is rattled a little bit. You go from being the go-to on your team to being a role player on another team. I think it's just about sitting comfortable with that and learning to play with new players as well. And so I've got, you know, this couple years behind me of experience of playing with my team, and, you know, like Diana and Sky and BG and Breezy and Soph and, you know, everybody else. So just, you know, that experience has really, really helped me, you know, build my confidence and stuff. And, you know, just playing in the league, you need that. You can't just come in and expect everything to fall into your hands. You got to earn it. And so I feel like I'm on my way to earning it, if not already have. So yeah, it's just really cool that I'm here. I'm really blessed to be in the position that I am to play in the WNBA, because, you know, it's hard to get a spot here. So I'm just making the most of it while I can.
Thank you.
All right, final question comes from Alex Simon.
When we talked to Sarah earlier this week, she said the hardest part was learning how to drive on the other side of the road, and that she's you quite a bit. I was wondering, I guess, you know, you made this transition a while ago coming to Stanford, but I'm wondering if there's any joy that you have in kind of watching her acclimate to the US, and if anything stands out to you about that transition.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, it's kind of like I'm out of my own body, like watching myself go through it, because she's going through everything that I went through, trying all the new things, you know, like has never had In-N-Out, has never had Chick-fil-A. I'm like, what? Like, these are staple American things, you know? And so it's really cool to, you know, see her go through that and stuff. But I think it's really special that we get to do it together as well, because I get to, like, she's got a little helping hand with her. I kind of went through that by myself, but she's got me. I'm there. I'm here to help her out.
All right, thanks for the time, Lon.
No worries. Thanks, guys.